The camera zooms in on a barren, alien world. The once glorious Solarian civilization is nothing but a pile of rubble, abandoned cities half sunken into the cracked earth, and burning debris scattered across the horizon. The final remnants of an advanced race, whose psionic abilities and superior technology had made them nearly unstoppable, until now. In the midst of this destruction, a young Solarian girl lies motionless, her skin streaked with dirt and blood. Her delicate body trembles in fear as she clutches a shattered crystal from her home, the last symbol of her people. Her massive, expressive eyes scan the empty landscape, full of pain and confusion. Her mind races, searching for answers. Why was she left behind? Why was she abandoned by the very ones who once called her their own? Her people, the Solarians, had fled as the alien invaders overwhelmed their planet, leaving only destruction in their wake. The girl, too young to fight, had been forgotten, left to fend for herself amidst the wreckage. Suddenly, in the distance, the sky flashes with a brilliant light. A ship is descending, a human warship. The girl's heart races as she recognizes the insignia, the humans, brutal and savage, known throughout the galaxy for their carnivorous ways. The Solarians had long viewed humans as nothing more than primitive beasts, unworthy of the stars. With fear gripping her, the girl scrambles behind a pile of wreckage, her breath quickening. Her body shakes, eyes wide with terror, hoping they won't see her. But as the ship's cloaking devices flicker off and it lands with a deafening thud, she hears a voice, sharp, but not threatening. "Hey, kid, we're not here to hurt you." The humans, these fierce, bloodthirsty creatures, are offering her something none of her people ever did, food. They extend a hand, a strange warmth in their gestures, despite their terrifying reputation. In a galaxy where every alien left her behind, the humans, of all beings, are the ones willing to help. The girl, unsure whether to trust them, hesitates. But in that moment, she realizes, she's not alone anymore. The girl slowly rises from her hiding place, her body trembling, unsure of whether to trust the humans or run. Captain Serena Vale, standing on the landing platform of the warship, watches the girl closely. Her expression is firm but not unkind, her eyes betraying a glimpse of understanding, a recognition of the pain this young alien must be feeling. "Come on out, little one. We're not here to hurt you," Captain Vale calls out, her voice firm but with an unexpected softness. She steps forward, her battle-worn armor glinting under the harsh light of the dying planet, and offers a small, open hand toward the girl. After a long pause, the girl finally takes a tentative step forward. Her eyes flick from the captain to the crew behind her, humans, all of them, their faces a mixture of exhaustion and curiosity. Despite their terrifying, carnivorous reputation, the humans are showing her kindness, a gesture almost foreign to the girl. Her people, the Solarians, with their superior intellect and power, had never shown such compassion. In fact, it had always been humanity that was viewed as savage, a species more capable of violence than peace. As she steps closer, Captain Vale lowers her hand and gives a slight nod, signaling for her crew to stand down. The girl's heart races, and she glances at the crew with suspicion, but their faces reflect no malice, only a quiet, weary resolve. "We've been here longer than we planned," Captain Vale explains, her voice filled with a mix of exhaustion and determination. "We're trapped on this planet. The fleet that was supposed to rescue us, they're not coming. We've got nothing left, no resources, no reinforcements. Just us." The girl listens intently as the captain continues, her words slowly sinking in. This warship, these humans, she realizes, they are just like her. Surviving in the wreckage of something bigger, something lost. The crew may be as stranded as she is. Captain Vale's tone softens. "You're all that's left of your people, aren't you? The last survivor of the Solarians." The girl nods, a single tear slipping down her cheek. The Solarians had once been a mighty race, dominating the galaxy with their psionic powers and advanced technology. Now, only this young girl remains, the last hope for her species. But as she looks at the humans, something strange begins to stir within her: hope. Captain Vale gestures toward the interior of the ship, where the rest of the crew stands waiting. "Come inside. We'll figure this out together." The girl hesitates, but in that moment, she realizes that these humans, far from the ruthless monsters she'd been taught to fear, are the first beings who've ever offered her a chance to survive, a chance to rebuild. She nods slowly, stepping aboard the ship, knowing that despite their brutal reputation, these humans may be her only chance at survival. As the hatch closes behind her, the ship hums to life, its engines roaring as they lift off from the planet's surface. Together, humans and aliens, strangers in a broken galaxy, begin the next chapter of their desperate journey. The girl begins to grow more comfortable with the humans, though her trust still takes time to build. Over the following days, Captain Vale and her crew do their best to make her feel safe, providing her with food, shelter, and understanding. Slowly, she opens up, sharing fragmented memories of her people, the Zolarians, advanced beings capable of manipulating energy, harnessing the power of stars, and creating machines that defy human imagination. She speaks of the Zolarian crystalline technology, ancient artifacts capable of manipulating the fabric of reality, and of a weapon hidden deep within her planet's core that could change the course of the war. Her words are at first difficult to understand, but Captain Vale quickly grasps the importance of this information. The girl's knowledge becomes invaluable to the humans. They begin to study her technology, combining it with their own resources. The crew works day and night, using their limited tools to try and decode what the girl has shared. Despite their fierce determination, they know their time is running out. The planet they're on is unstable, its resources nearly depleted, and the alien fleet has surely noticed the girl's disappearance. The tension rises, and the crew's anxiety becomes palpable. It's only a matter of time before the alien forces, the relentless Vorathians, track them down. Captain Vale's worst fears come true when the ship's scanners pick up multiple unidentified ships heading their way. The Vorathians are here. The human warship, though powerful, is vastly outclassed in both numbers and technology. The Vorathian fleet arrives, a terrifying sight of sleek, advanced ships that shimmer with cloaking technology, their hulls reinforced with alien alloys far stronger than anything the humans have ever seen. Their AI-driven ships are as intelligent as they are deadly, with a fleet of drone fighters and automated weapons systems ready to strike. On the ship's bridge, Captain Vale stares grimly at the approaching fleet. She knows the odds are not in their favor. The humans are outnumbered, under-equipped, and facing an enemy that can vanish into thin air with their advanced cloaking devices. The Vorathians are not just a military threat, they are a technological nightmare, each ship a deadly fusion of organic and machine, designed to outthink, outmaneuver, and overpower anything in their path. "Captain, we can't win this," one of her senior officers says, his voice tight with fear. "Their AI is light years ahead of us. We're sitting ducks." Captain Vale slams her fist on the console. "We're not giving up. We'll fight until the last breath." But even as she speaks with resolve, she knows the humans' chances of survival are slim. The alien fleet, with its cloaking devices and unmatched weaponry, would tear through the human ship in a matter of minutes. Yet, she holds a sliver of hope: if the girl can unlock the Zolarian weapon buried on the planet, they might just have a chance. As the enemy fleet draws closer, the crew prepares for the worst. The tension builds, each heartbeat thudding louder as they brace for a battle they know they may not survive. The girl, feeling the weight of her people's legacy on her shoulders, approaches Captain Vale with a determined look in her eyes. "There's a way," she says quietly, her voice full of newfound strength. "I can help you. I know how to use the weapon. But you have to trust me." Captain Vale looks at her, weighing the risk. They have no other choice. The girl's knowledge might be humanity's only hope. As the first Vorathian ships decloak and move in for the attack, the humans and the girl must act quickly, because the battle for survival is about to begin, and only the Zolarian technology holds the key to turning the tide. The tension is unbearable as the Vorathian fleet closes in, their cloaked ships a constant threat looming in the skies above the human warship. With no time left to waste, the girl, now fully committed to the humans' cause, steps forward, her voice steady and filled with urgency. "There's a way," she says, looking directly at Captain Vale. "My people built a weapon, an ancient power, deep beneath this planet's surface. It's hidden in the core of an old Zolarian stronghold, far from here. If you can reach it and activate it, it could destroy the Vorathian fleet." The crew listens intently as the girl describes the weapon. It's not just a traditional weapon, it's a catastrophic force, capable of shifting planetary alignments and eradicating entire fleets in an instant. But the cost of activating it is unknown, and the path to the weapon is treacherous, filled with obstacles that even the Zolarians themselves once avoided. The weapon is protected by an array of ancient Zolarian defenses, she explains, including automated drones, AI sentries, and security measures designed to keep intruders out. But you can't hesitate. You must reach it before the Vorathians land. Captain Vale weighs her options. With the ship unable to withstand a full assault, and the weapon being the only chance to defeat the Vorathians, there's no other choice. She nods, her jaw set with determination. "Prepare yourselves. We're going down. Infiltrating the alien base." The plan is set into motion. The human crew, equipped with advanced stealth technology designed to temporarily cloak them from enemy detection, boards the shuttle for a dangerous descent into the planet's crust. The Zolarian coordinates lead them to a vast underground facility, the ruins of an ancient civilization hidden far beneath the surface. The shuttle lands on a narrow landing pad, surrounded by towering, alien structures covered in strange, glowing symbols. The girl leads the crew through the dark, winding corridors of the Zolarian base, her steps confident as she moves swiftly through the ancient halls. Her familiarity with the layout proves invaluable, though even she seems hesitant to face the security systems that await them. Suddenly, a low hum fills the air, and the walls begin to pulse with energy. The girl's eyes widen in recognition. "Security drones," she mutters under her breath. Without warning, the ground trembles, and a swarm of robot drones, sleek, humanoid machines covered in black armor, emerges from the shadows, their red eyes glowing menacingly. They're armed with energy weapons and have been programmed to destroy anyone who dares approach the weapon. The first wave of drones charges at them, their movements calculated and precise. Captain Vale's crew responds immediately. Gunfire echoes through the dark hallways as the humans spring into action, each soldier moving with practiced precision. Despite being vastly outnumbered, the humans use their tactical ingenuity to hold their ground. One soldier, a sharpshooter named Rook, takes cover behind a massive pillar and begins picking off drones one by one, his sniper rifle piercing through their armored exteriors. Meanwhile, Sergeant Hawk, with his heavier armor, leads the charge, cutting through enemy lines with close-range explosives. The crew moves quickly and efficiently, using their knowledge of human tactics and teamwork to outmaneuver the drones. The action is brutal and fast-paced, each confrontation a fight for survival. As the crew fights off wave after wave of drones, Captain Vale takes the lead, barking orders with authority. She moves like a seasoned warrior, cutting through the metal enemies with her energy sword and using her advanced combat training to stay one step ahead of the relentless onslaught. But they're not just fighting drones. The deeper they move into the base, the more sophisticated the defenses become. AI-controlled turrets activate, targeting the humans with pinpoint accuracy. The crew has no choice but to adapt, using the environment to their advantage, taking cover behind walls, and triggering traps to slow the enemy down. In the midst of the chaos, the girl remains focused, guiding the team through the labyrinthine corridors. She whispers instructions, directing them to safe passageways that bypass even more deadly defenses. Her knowledge of the Zolarian technology is invaluable, but her strength is tested when they reach the final, heavily fortified chamber. The final push. They arrive at the heart of the base, a massive, glowing chamber where the Zolarian weapon is stored. But guarding the entrance is the last line of defense, an enormous, AI-controlled sentry bot. It towers over them, a mechanical behemoth with a pulsating energy core embedded in its chest. The sentry's eyes light up, scanning the crew with an ominous hum. "Get ready," Captain Vale warns. "This is our last fight." The crew braces for impact as the sentry launches a devastating barrage of energy blasts. The humans, battered and bruised from previous encounters, launch themselves into a final, desperate assault. Rook targets the sentry's weak points while Sergeant Hawk and Captain Vale take the front, using grenades and close-quarters combat to breach its defenses. The battle is intense, the room illuminated by blinding flashes of energy as the humans press forward, pushing their bodies to the limit. Finally, with a well-placed shot from Rook, the sentry's energy core is destroyed, sending a shockwave through the chamber. The machine collapses, its systems shutting down. The girl steps forward, her hands trembling as she activates the ancient Zolarian console. The weapon hums to life, its immense power vibrating the entire chamber. The crew takes one last, collective breath. This weapon, their last hope, is now theirs to control. But as the final countdown begins, they realize that activating it will come with a price. The planet's core will destabilize, and they will have only moments to escape before the entire world collapses in on itself. The clock is ticking, and they must leave now, or face total annihilation. The battle isn't over yet. It's only just begun. The planet shakes as the final confrontation begins. The Zolarian weapon sight, now fully activated, hums with a raw, deadly energy, the massive underground chamber glowing with a pulsating light. Above, the Vorathian fleet is closing in, their cloaked ships now revealed and descending toward the planet's surface. The air crackles with tension as the human crew prepares for the battle that will determine not just their fate, but the fate of humanity itself. Captain Vale stands at the helm, her eyes narrowed as she stares at the incoming alien forces. The odds are overwhelmingly against them, an entire alien fleet, led by the Vorathian flagship, equipped with advanced AI, cloaking technology, and weapon systems far beyond human comprehension. But she has one advantage: the girl, the last of the Zolarians, holds the key to a victory they can scarcely believe. The humans have only minutes to activate the weapon, but they are surrounded. As the Vorathian forces drop out of orbit, their ships sending pulses of destructive energy toward the ground, Captain Vale gives the order to engage. The human soldiers, battered and bloodied from the earlier drone battles, rally together for one final stand. The air is filled with the sound of gunfire, explosions, and the roar of alien craft as they move in to crush the humans. On the ground, the girl, standing in the center of the chaos, focuses all her energy. Her hands glow with an eerie light, the psionic powers of her people stirring within her. She feels the pulse of the alien fleet in her mind, the cold, calculating AI systems that control their every move. Closing her eyes, she channels all her strength, her heart pounding with the weight of her decision. In a stunning moment of raw power, the girl unleashes a massive psionic wave. The ground trembles as she sends a pulse through the air, directly targeting the Vorathian AI systems. The effect is immediate, the alien fleet falters as their automated ships stutter and freeze in midair. The Vorathian forces lose their coordination, their weapon systems malfunctioning, giving the humans the split second they need to launch their attack. But this moment of triumph is short-lived. With the fleet temporarily disabled, Captain Vale knows they must press their advantage and destroy the flagship before it can recover. She leads the charge, her soldiers rallying behind her as they push toward the horizon, where the Vorathian flagship hovers like a dark, menacing shadow. The battle is chaotic, orbital bombardments from the Vorathian ships light up the sky, while human soldiers fight tooth and nail, using every ounce of their ingenuity and strength to hold off waves of alien soldiers. The air is thick with smoke and the acrid scent of burning metal. The crew fights with ferocity, refusing to give up even in the face of overwhelming odds. But the price of victory is steep. As Captain Vale and her team advance toward the flagship, a devastating explosion rocks their position. Bonner, a beloved member of the crew, is caught in the blast. The sound of his final scream is drowned out by the roar of incoming fire. Captain Vale rushes to him, but there's nothing that can be done. Bonner, a soldier who had fought alongside them since the beginning, is gone. The crew pushes forward, their faces grim but determined, knowing that each step they take costs them more lives. Bonner's death is a brutal reminder of the sacrifices they're making to ensure their survival, and the survival of the girl who might just hold the key to humanity's future. With one final, desperate push, the human soldiers reach the flagship's core. Captain Vale leads the charge, her eyes steely with resolve. She activates a series of charges, planting them deep within the ship's structure. The countdown begins, and she gives the order to retreat. The ship will not survive. As the crew falls back, the girl stands frozen in place, watching the humans, her new allies. Her saviors, sacrifice everything. She witnesses their courage, their willingness to lay down their lives to protect her and the future of humanity. And in that moment, she understands. The girl turns to face the Zolarian weapon, knowing that it's time to end this. As the last charge is set, and the countdown reaches its final seconds, she closes her eyes, channeling one last burst of psionic energy to guide the weapon's power. The planet trembles, and the sky above explodes in a blinding light. The flagship erupts in a fiery explosion, disintegrating in an instant. The alien fleet, now vulnerable, begins to fall apart as the weapon's devastating energy rips through their defenses. The girl watches, helpless, as the human's final sacrifice secures victory, but at a great cost. The war is over. The alien forces are decimated, and the Vorathian Empire has been shattered. But the girl is alone, standing amid the wreckage, as the last of her human allies vanish into the dust. The aftermath of the battle is both triumphant and heartbreaking. The Vorathian fleet lies in ruins, their flagship obliterated, and their forces scattered in the wake of the devastating Zolarian weapon. The planet that once held the last hope of the girl's species is now a lifeless shell, its core destabilized and its future uncertain. The humans, though victorious, are left with the scars of war, their numbers greatly diminished by the sacrifices made. The crew, battered but resolute, gathers together for a moment of quiet reflection. Captain Vale stands beside the girl, her expression somber yet proud. The girl, once trembling in fear, now stands strong, her gaze fixed on the horizon as she processes the weight of all that has transpired. She has lost her people, but in doing so, she has gained something that even the might of the Zolarian Empire could not provide, a sense of belonging. The humans, flawed and fallible as they are, have shown her something extraordinary. They have fought for her, sacrificed for her, and cared for her in ways her own kind never could. The Zolarians, powerful and advanced, lacked the ability to form such bonds, their cold, rational nature unable to understand the depth of human empathy. Captain Vale turns to her, her voice quiet but full of understanding. You've given us more than you'll ever know. But now, it's your choice. You can return to your home, to a place where you're revered, where you might rebuild what's left of your species. Or you can stay with us. The girl looks up at the stars, the void of space stretching out before her, a vast, infinite expanse filled with possibilities. Her eyes flicker with uncertainty, torn between the remnants of her people's legacy and the new life she's found among the humans. But as she reflects on all that has happened, the kindness of these soldiers, their bravery, their willingness to fight for something greater than themselves, she knows what her heart tells her. I choose to stay, she says, her voice steady, her decision clear. With you. With humanity. There is a quiet moment as Captain Vale nods, a small but warm smile on her face. Then welcome aboard. The girl, now an integral part of the crew, stands side by side with Captain Vale, gazing out at the stars. The human ship, battered but victorious, begins its journey into the unknown. The girl, once abandoned and alone, now finds herself a part of something greater. She has discovered a new family, a group of imperfect, yet resilient people who have shown her what it truly means to care, to fight, and to survive together. As the ship sails through the stars, the girl looks to the future with hope. The universe may still be vast and filled with unknown dangers, but for the first time in her life, she knows she won't face it alone. The end of one story marks the beginning of another, this time, a story of unity, compassion, and the strength found in the bonds of humanity.